Um, as I told our team, in this thing, sometimes the other team plays better than you do, and they played better than we did. Obviously, we didn't rebound very well. We had our shots and squandered some opportunities, but I tip my cap on this particular evening to their team, their players. John, they had a good plan. Quick turnaround for both of us. They had Clemson at home on Saturday. Of course, we were in here on Saturday, but they did a nice job. So nothing more than that.
Mike, they shot very, very well. What makes them so difficult to defend? You guys did a pretty good job on Filipowski, but it seemed like the guards really were able to get downhill a lot.
Yeah, they set that top ball screen, which is difficult, and they can all use it. Proctor, Roach was good tonight. McCain or McLean, Caleb is very good with it, and our coverages we've gotten to now help in, which makes it difficult. They're spraying a thing out to whoever else is off the ball. They had a couple of offensive rebounds sprayed onto the perimeter for made threes in the first half. Just they were, again, David, they were better than we were.
What did you think of the way you guys played offensively?
They took us out of some things. They made it very difficult for us in some of our actions that we've been good with. They were good. They were good. Proctor, I don't remember Proctor being so long. Holy smokes, he's 6'5", good-looking young man. They were good there.
Mike, Duke out-rebounded you guys on the offensive glass 10-4, 58 in second chance points. What was Duke able to do to take advantage of the glass, and how much did you guys miss?
A lot of that, Tim, a lot of that was us in rotation. We're in rotation. Shot goes up, and, we don't have a guard chipping down to take that, and that's easier said than done. That's Filipovic, that's Ryan Young, that's Mark Mitchell. And all of that is created by dribble penetration a lot of times. So I would attribute that to that point.
And then Duke was 9 for 17 from 3 tonight. It seemed like they were able to get a lot of spaces on the perimeter at times. What were they able to do to achieve that?
Be interested to go back and watch it tonight. How many of those came out offensive rebounds? A couple at the end of the clock. Roach's shot at the buzzer at the half was a big shot to push it to 6. You've got to guard the ball, and the way our ball screen defense is designed, that hedge is there for a purpose. That is to stop the ball. And really, really good, very good here of late. Duke was better offensively than we were defensively.
Mike, was there something, whether it was the inside or three-pointers, that you were trying to take away from Duke that you just weren't able to execute tonight?
Well, Mark, when you're playing a team such as them with Filipowski on the interior, he's such a good player, and then those guards, those 4 guards, Roach looked healthy to me, played very well. That's a lot on you. I'd like to think that there was something that you could eliminate. That's easier said than done as well.
And then last year at Cameron, their defensive pressure was what really got to you. Was there something different with their defense today that made it a handful?
Proctor does a good job on Hunter. I think I heard he scored 15. He really worked to get that 15. He only had 4 points at the half, and both of those were off a design play to get him backdoor just to loosen Proctor up. Proctor does a good job with him. His length is bothersome. And you got Filipowski switching on to him some. So I don't want to take anything away from their plan and how they guarded us.
Colby?
Coach, you mentioned that difficult top ball screen action they were running. How do you feel Kidd and Poteet did hedging in that action? How do you adjust that moving forward?
It would take me a bit to describe it. Why I got to coach it better. So I can't give you. It'd take me too long, Colby. There's a lot that goes into it, especially in the middle third. In the middle third, with a player like those guards, that's a load. You can't let the ball screen get to the primary defender, and that happened on a number of occasions. Some on Couture, who's terrific in guarding. Some on Padula. Something we'll need to shore up quickly heading to Miami next Saturday.
Mike, shooters shoot, but how would you describe Sean's shot selection tonight?
Left a bit to be desired, David. Left a bit to be desired. Now, we need him going. He has been really, really good for us here over the last bit. Thought he pressed a little bit. I think Duke had something to do with that. Those guys that they put onto Sean did a nice job. He was able to get downhill with it with some of our middle ball screens, but didn't distribute as well as he has here of late, and he's been very good doing it.
Zach, back right. Coach, you won the turnover battle by 10 and forced 14 of them, but only scored 11 points out of these. What do you think can better be done to turn these defensive stops into more scoring opportunities?
Put the ball up ahead. All right, Duke does a great job with that. All right, put the ball up ahead. Now you've got a Duke team playing transition defense and transition. It's hard to get matched up. Lane Kidd, Malaysia running the floor down the middle of it. Get it out of your hands. Get the ball up the floor where you could have a 3-on-2, a 3-on-1.5, something along those lines. Got to do a better job with that.
Duke with the 38-20 advantage and the rebounding margin. What made them so tough to defend inside and just
again? We got caught in some rotations. They shoot out of it. There's got to be somebody coming down from the top to box that guy out, and we didn't do a very good job with that. And they got a couple of kids who can really go get it, and Mitchell and Filipowski.
Last question, Tim.
Mike, MJ Collins with 17 tonight. Second straight game with double digits. Obviously, was key in the first half to keep you guys in it with 13 in the first half. What have you seen from him that he's been able to pick up his play of late?
Certainly looks a lot more confident. He's really struggled putting the ball in the hole, but he's worked at it. He's healthy. That was a cramp at the end of the game, nothing more than that. He's putting his licks in, Tim. He's a good player. We need that punch from him is important to us as we move along. Tyler Nickel had a tough night. Our team had a tough night. Better days ahead. Anything else? Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. Safe travel.
All right, well, really good road win. A lot of respect for Virginia Tech and what they're capable of doing and the team that they have. They return a lot of the team that beat us here last year. And, Couture, he's played against him a lot. And I thought our team just had great togetherness, some timely threes, and some guys step up in key moments. I thought Ryan Young, just in his 14 minutes, was terrific. Has 3 offensive rebounds. Probably one of the best plays of the game was he switched out to Couture and then came back in for the block, which is just a huge play at a big time. A lot of different guys stepped up. I think it was our defense. To hold this team to 6 threes is not easy. I can promise you, especially on one-day prep. They run so many tough actions, misdirections. You have to have great talk, great communication. We did that. I thought our guards really controlled the game, and then Flip came through down the stretch, just playing through them a little bit. But proud of this win. You get a chance to play 2 games in 3 days, and to win both of them is really good. And looking forward to building from here.
John, I wanted to ask you about the defense first of all, and you said communication was a big part of it. But what else did the guys do well to really get into the game plan and shut them down?
Well, Steve, they're difficult to guard because of how well they shoot the three. So you kind of have to pick your poison a little bit. And our thing was to try to take away threes as much as possible. Because of that, we gave up some drives, and they got to the paint a little easier. Probably had some breakdowns just guarding the ball, talking on switches. But I thought the communication for 40 minutes against these guys, one-day prep, was terrific. It was as good of a turnaround that we've had playing them in that situation. And then we had resistance at our basket. They only got 4 offensive rebounds. To out-rebound them 38-20. I think that speaks to the level of fight and resistance that we played with. And I think our versatility too. Mark switching on everybody. Flip did a good job besides the fouls. And our guards really, they bust their butts, man. Jared McCain comes up with 10 rebounds.
John, Poteet and Kidd had, I think, a combined 36
Right.
the other day. I know you wanted to take away threes, but how much attention did you want to pay to them, and how would you assess your defense tonight?
Yeah, really good. And we knew they'd try to go inside a lot. We know teams are going to try to do that no matter what. One, because, it's not like, Flip is big, but also teams try to get him in foul trouble. And so, he did a good job having resistance. Ryan did as well. And they're going to score some. We played it more one-on-one. We've done different things in the past. But as soon as you go to double, then you're giving up threes. And so you kind of have to live with some of those. And end of the day, they're tough twos. And I thought Flip, Ryan, did a terrific job guarding the post tonight.
Coach, going back to Jared a little bit, he wasn't obviously having his best offensive night, but still was getting back and getting it done on defense. Can you talk a little bit about what that was like for him and what you kind of tell him and what you guys work on when he isn't, shooting the ball super well, and how he kind of maintains that effort throughout the game?
Yeah, Jared, it's funny because he's such a good shooter, but he's really just a winner, and like last game against Clemson, it was his 2 steals that got us back in the game. This game is 10 rebounds. He had some great passes. He had 3 assists and no turnovers, but I thought he had a couple more that he started the domino. And that's who he is. Just whatever the game requires, he's going to answer the bell. And tonight was no exception with his rebounds, defense, and playmaking.
John, rebounding was, I think, -9 the other night. What does it say about this team's toughness to come in here and be plus 18?
Says a lot. And, I think, I think this no matter what, even though you have a core group returning from last year, the season is still an evolution. It's still a process of figuring out how this team needs to be successful. And they always respond. Like this team, they always respond in game, but also after the Clemson game. It's a great win and exciting, but you have to move on very quickly and learn from it. And some of the plays in traffic, we emphasize a lot guard rebounding, and we had that tonight. And it translates into some transition baskets and obviously eliminating easy ones for them.
There were still 20 minutes to play, but how big was that sequence at the end of the half?
Huge.
Because
Yeah.
Barron has the open 3 that would have tied it, miss, and then Sean gets the offensive rebound and the kick out.
Well, the thing for us tonight, we've been up the last 3 games in the first half. We've had great stretches. We haven't been able to close, and we have to figure that out. But to go up in the half, to end the half, Sean Stewart made a play to keep the ball alive. Flip comes up with it, and then Jeremy hits the 3. I can't tell you. I think that's probably the most important play of the game, to be honest. And because the momentum, is going their way, you respond, and then you come back in the half, you get a stop and score. All right, now it's 8. It's a difference maker, and something I've learned ever since I've been a freshman here. Just the start of games, end of halves, start of halves, and obviously end of games. But that was a big segment.
Coach, it's said the Castle is one of the hardest atmospheres to play in the ACC for college football. Excuse me, college basketball.
Football, I wouldn't know.
I know,
Yes.
Lord. But how did you prepare for that with such a quick turnaround between Clemson and today?
I think it goes back to this team's been in a lot of unique environments already, and a ton of respect for Virginia Tech, a ton of respect for the environment here, and I think our guys, this is the reason you come to Duke, is to play in environments like this, and they were ready to play. Thought they did a great job focusing on what you can control. And so often you can worry about a crowd, you can worry about what people are saying. And for our guys, they were just locked in on the game and what the job that needed to be done. And so I'm proud of them for that.
Coach, Kyle picked up his third foul with just under 16 minutes to go in the game. How did you guys adjust with him being unavailable?
Well, he still could have played, but, Ryan had it going. And that's where Ryan, he's so important for our team. And he came in and gave us a lift. I mean, we were winning when Ryan was in the game. And you try to buy as much time as you can. You're still going to go back to flip at some point, but you're just trying to figure out what the right time is. And, we've always been so aggressive with playing guys with fouls. And, in that situation, we just felt it was better to get him a quick one and get him right back in there. And then Ryan really came through.
At least twice Ryan used the rim as protection, went up and reversed. Has he always been that adept with that?
Ryan, it's funny. He's been such a high-level finisher at Northwestern, his first year with us. And this year he hasn't done that as well or as efficient. But he's so crafty down there. And he's at his best if he goes right up, even if they block his shot one time, to be aggressive. And he did some really good work on the floor yesterday. With Justin Robinson. I thought that translated to the game tonight. And he needs to be assertive. Like when he's aggressive and assertive, it changes our team.
Jeremy didn't seem like himself the other night against Clemson. Just 2 days later, it looked like he was back to his old self. What was the difference there?
Steve, he hasn't practiced in a week and a half, and he just wanted to gut it out to be there for his teammates. And he clearly wasn't himself on Saturday, although he did some really good things. I still think tonight he wasn't fully himself. He needs a week of practice to get back into the flow of who he's been. With that said, the threes were great. He had some big-time moments, but he's just done so much for us this year. He needs some practice time, and I think it says a lot about him just to be out here tonight and to will it and to make it happen.
Coach, coming in, you knew that Sean Padula plays well with the ball in his hands. He went 4 for 15 from the field tonight. What did you like about how the way your guards defended him?
Well, he's going to continue to attack no matter what, and he's a little bit of an unorthodox player because he's shot the heck out of the ball from 3 this year, but he can really drive and get in the paint to create for others or himself, and for him not to score a 3, I think that's a credit to our defense. We probably got lucky, a couple of them that he missed, but that's a important thing. Like for him and Couture combined to only have 2 threes. Those guys are dynamic. They've hit a ton of threes. So I think it's a credit to our guys guarding the ball and kind of making them try to play a little bit more one-on-one as much as possible, and which they can do, but it's better than them running their actions all the time the way that they can. Probably a little bit of both tonight.
John, you guys were 9 for 17 from 3, and it seemed like a lot of those threes you had a decent amount of space on. What were you guys able to do successfully to kind of get some space for your shooters?
It's been one of the best passing teams we've had, and there's some sequences really in every game just where the ball is hopping and finding the right guy. And when I say the right guy, really you have 4 or 5 guys on the court that are knockdown shooters. And so you have the defense that, just like for us going Virginia Tech, they space you out. We can do the same. But just guys are making the right play, not worried about who's scoring, just sharing it. And I think if we shoot the right ones, we'll shoot a great percentage. You feel good about the chances that can go in, which fortunately for us tonight it did. All right, thank you.